I am a Maasai who came from Kenya to try to share our culture. 2 or 3 of my paintings portray singing. Singing is a way in which the Maasai stored information. We don't have a written alphabet. We have a tonal language, a language that goes in tune with each word. And in creating a song, you told of an event, and 100 years later, an individual will sing and know what happened in a certain place to a certain individual, why, and whether it will happen again in the event that you did A, B, or C. If you look at my art, immediately it should bring a joy. The circumstances in my painting touch on your day-to-day life. So it's just sharing what I have and enjoying what you have so that we understand each other better. In order to be able to be a good illustrator, you have to picture the story from the point of view of the one listening. Am I clearly weaving the words in such a way that the listener doesn't get confused, but the listener enjoys and it touches the heart of the listener? The painting that I'm working on now, 2 men meet and they have this conversation. And in the end they say, okay, go in peace, and I pray that you find your children laughing. Because when children are happy, then you have reason to celebrate. Batik is an art form where you alternate between the use of hot wax and cold water fabric dyes. So everywhere now I'm applying wax. There is no dye that will touch that space. It will remain white up to the end of the painting. Okay, so now what is white inside the painting? Society is the ingredient from which we create art. What inspires me to do each painting is I think about a circumstance or a situation and I relate it to my environment. And that draws me to say, what can I say in relation to my culture that touches on that circumstance? Salt helps the dye to fix itself on the fabric. Storytelling is part of my culture. We say that words are nourishment for the spirit. See, because it is canvas, you really have to enforce it to make sure it sinks into the fabric. If I bring art from every avenue of our society, each will have a different story to tell, a different depiction of our culture through art. In all of us, there's something red that flows, and that is life. The blood in you is life. And so red must be a celebration of life. In our upbringing, we had a nanny. After dinner, everybody would sit next to her and say, tell me a story. And she would tell you a story that had a moral lesson, so that the next day as you go out, you always relate to the story. But as an artist, when I was told a story, I could picture circumstances. The painting with the lion and the warriors killing that lion is a story I was told when I was 10 years old by a man who actually participated in the hunting of a lion that had been coming and killing their cows. And he articulated it so clearly, I felt I was there. And so today when I paint, I don't need to be told this is how the lion was or this is how the fellow was. No. I just bring back that memory and represent it on the canvas. So storytelling and words, all these come together into one embodiment of a word which is called love. If I can nourish people with words to touch another life and make it better, then I will have fulfilled the purpose for which God put me on this earth. And if I can do that, I can be happy and the world can be happier.